Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
The Nanaimo African Heritage Society is launching the 14th annual Black History Month. We're going to have a preview today. Simple things to keep the love alive, exploring Baroque, and fit well into his 80s. February is a celebration of Black history here in Nanaimo. There are some pretty big events coming to town. We're going to tell you all about those over the course of the next 30 minutes, but we're starting out with love. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and we're showing you behind the scenes in the romance of a couple of people that you probably already know. Very cute, Jocelyn Matwee and Matt Carter. That is a little preview of our Valentine's Day special. We'll have both national and local specials airing all over Vancouver Island on February the 14th. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Shalay McGant is the founder and president of the Nanaimo African Heritage Society. Today's a big day, the kickoff for the 14th annual Black History Month, a celebration. And what do we have to celebrate when it comes to Black history in Nanaimo?
Well, we celebrate all the contributions that pioneers have made to BC, Canada, and as a whole. There's a lot of history that people don't know and not aware of right here on our island. We've had lots of contributions from pioneers that landed here in the 1800s and beyond that. So just keeping that history alive and bringing that each year is what I live for right now.
Someone came into Nanaimo a little while ago, and he was a Black man, and he said, he went into a barber shop, he asked the barber where the Black district was,
right,
and the guy said, "You're in it." How large, active, vibrant is, and if it's okay to say this, the Black community here in our city?
Well, I think everything's changing. I mean, I've seen a lot of changes since I've been here, and I've been here about 20-some years. Don't want to give my age away or anything, but I just had a birthday. But I see changes happening all the time. It's getting more diversity as we go on. There are more Black people around. I encourage them to come out. There's a lot more families that are here and people that are coming from all parts of Canada and coming to our beautiful island. So I just really encourage people to come out, and it's not just for Black people, it's for all of our community. It's for everybody to learn about part of our history. The pioneers that landed on these shores is part of us, that without them we wouldn't have what we have here. So to celebrate them and to give them honor and to keep young people growing and knowing that their ancestors played a role in what we're doing here.
And it's not just celebrating one culture, as you mentioned, because to say celebrating Black culture is like celebrating white culture.
Exactly.
And it's so much bigger than that. There's so many different sections and fragments to it.
And I think for us, it's just there's so much information that was not taught in the schools. There's so much information that people do not know of the contributions. The people that phone me back, they take our program books away, and they come for the programs during February, and they're flabbergasted with the information. I do speaks up and down the island to different nonprofits and different groups, and they're elated to hear this information. So a lot of these people are not Black. They are multicultural groups of people. A lot of them are mainly white people, but to find out about the information that they did not find about years ago, it's been just wonderful to them. So we invite everyone to come out and just participate and learn about different cultures, learn about our culture, learn how we contributed to the big mosaic that we have here in our community and in our country.
Excellent. There's lots of ways to do that over the course of the next month. There's some music, there's some storytelling, a lot of it taking place here at the library, some taking place at Bevan Park. We'll give you details later on this edition of Go Island. Time now for a short break. Baroque from young piano and dance students, celebrating women in comedy, and rapid fire with Jacob Hanlon.
Did you know there's over 2,700 parking spots in the downtown core?
Today on Go Island, we are celebrating Black History Month here in Nanaimo. It does take place all across Vancouver Island and the province as well. There are events taking place throughout the city throughout the course of February. The next one coming up is a tribute to Bob Marley and the Legends of Reggae. That takes place on February the 7th at Bevan Park. It's a 7 p.m. show. Should be good for the entire family. You can get full information and listings about all of the events that are taking place during Black History Month at www.NanaimoAfricanHeritageSociety.com. We're moving from one culture to another culture entirely. It's a look at piano and dance students who are coming together in Nanaimo to showcase, celebrate, and learn about Baroque. Those kids were so cute. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Afro Circus is something I experienced at Bathtub Days in downtown Nanaimo. Here to tell you more about what it is Janice. What is the Afro Circus?
The Afro Circus is a performance that combines juggling, stilt walking, African dance, acrobatics, and African percussion all rolled into one.
And who are these guys with you?
This is Mamadou Diallo from Burkina Faso, acrobat, juggler, dancer extraordinaire, and master drummer Michel Alseni Diallo from Guinea-Conakry in West Africa as well.
Now, how did you get involved in this form of dance?
This was basically a childhood crush on Africa that turned into a lifelong love affair when I went to Nigeria in 1993.
How do you describe the dance? Are there stories being told, the level of physicality that's involved?
It is very high energy, very joyous, and yes, a lot of the moves do draw on movements of everyday life as well. Yeah.
What is it trying to depict emotions? Is it a happiness and a sadness and an ebb and flow of daily life?
I can't say what it is trying to do, but what it does for me is expresses joy and just fulfills that need to be active and moving and joyful.
Do you think there's a lot of people out there, maybe you, who haven't experienced this form of dance before, have never seen it?
I do. In Vancouver Island, I think there are many, many people who would love to discover and have not yet.
And how active are you guys as a group?
We are quite active. We just got here in May. We started performing together in May of last year. Both of us came up from Montreal at that time. And so to find out more, you can go to www.cirquejeunessenenequilibre.ca, if you can spell that. It's basically Youth in Equilibrium Circus, spelt in French though. And we focus a lot on youth as well, and we also have a project to bring circus arts to Mamadou Diallo's village of Oundé in Burkina Faso. So
thank you.
That's all
Thank you very much. We're going to throw things over now to movement of an entirely different kind. Ryan LaPlante introduces us to a man who is staying active well into his 80s. The Clippers' next home game is on Friday. That is February the 7th at Frank Crane Arena right here in Nanaimo, of course. And for full details and standings on the Clippers, you can go to the website, www.nanaimoclippers.com. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Paul Wynn. He's on the board of directors for the Nanaimo African Heritage Society, a group that I don't know a lot about. You sort of surface in February, very active with a month of celebrations. What was the mandate activity levels of your board?
Well, it's just about as you described. We do a couple of events each year, and that's about it. But we've got plans to be a little more active and proactive of doing things on a continuous basis throughout the year. And we've got plans to increase our membership and to reach out to the community. And you don't have to be black to belong to the society. It's just people who are interested in education and history and making and exposing it to the general population. That's what we're looking for. But we plan to have events that happen in the summer and in the winter and the fall. But those times of year.
Do you think we've come a long way and still have a long way to go in having a complete understanding of the history and a knowledge and being educated around Black history?
Yeah, definitely. The reason that is just because a lot of the history of Black people have been eliminated, from textbooks. And of course, it's always, they say that it's the victor who writes the history, so they can eliminate anybody else. But we happen to have this year, we've been featuring inventions by Blacks in the world who contributed to society that affected the lives of everybody, like the manufacture of shoes and the lathe machine that was invented by a Black that just revolutionized the whole industry and made it possible. And other things, there's eye surgery techniques, a laser to get rid of cataracts, a Black doctor in the 60s. And so those kind of things people don't know about. They don't know that the person who invented them was Black, but it affects a lot of people's lives who have cataracts.
Absolutely.
So it's that kind of thing we're trying to do this year. And every year we hope we have a theme and expose the general society to the things that Black people have contributed, so they can see us as contributors to the makeup of Canadian and the world society.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much. To get more information or to get involved, you can go online, www.NanaimoAfricanHeritageSociety.com. We're going to head south to Victoria here on Vancouver Island. Dan Kahn has information about a celebration of women in comedy that's coming up next month. Black History Month is now officially underway in Nanaimo. We've mentioned it a few times. I'll do it one more time. www.NanaimoAfricanHeritageSociety.com. It all culminates in a big gala dinner taking place on February the 23rd. The Afro Circus that you saw here will be performing there as well. I'm out of time for today. Thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.